Hey everyone, I'm so glad you're here joining us again for another amazing adventure in Bazillions. We're on a mission to uncover the coolest AI tools out there, aiming to make our daily grind not just easier, but a whole lot more thrilling. And I don't know, maybe we make money in the process. Today, we're plunging headfirst into the latest updates from Leonardo.AI. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. We're checking out their fresh off the press transparency feature, giving the Universal Image Upscaler a whirl, and just for kicks, we're going to transform some of our photos into super dynamic videos. The best part? All these goodies are tucked away in Leonardo's free plan, which means you can get your hands on them too. Just a heads up though, if you're on the free plan like us, you've got a daily cap on how many tokens you can use, so think carefully about how you want to spend them. Kicking things off, we're diving into the transparency feature. Now this isn't just your average feature, it's a game changer that allows you to whip up objects sporting a perfectly transparent background without even having to mention you want it. That's right, no extra steps required. Imagine crafting sleek visuals that pop without any background clutter, perfect for everything from graphic designs to stickers and beyond, and doing it all without breaking a sweat. But don't go thinking this is some basic background remover. Nope, this is the real deal, native transparent image creation. We're talking about achieving that elusive partial transparency and edges so clean, they'd make a diamond cutter jealous. The folks over at Leonardo.AI suggest pairing this feature with their heavyweight models like Kino XL, Vision XL, and Albedo Base XL for top-notch results. And if you're feeling fancy and have access to their paid plans, throwing in Alchemy V2 or Photoreal V2 will elevate your outputs to the stratosphere of high fidelity. Another fantastic perk? The transparency feature plays nicely with elements, enabling you to blend your favorite components together and come away with a beautifully transparent background ready to shine in any project you've got lined up. All right, let's dive into this experiment with a straightforward approach. We're kicking things off with a pretty classic setup, a vase brimming with colorful roses sitting on a table. We're tossing the word transparent into the mix as our magic keyword, all set to work its charm with the Leonardo Vision XL model. The cool part? This whole venture is only going to set us back 11 tokens. So we hit that generate button, and within a few short seconds, voila, we're greeted by a beautiful array of images laid out before us. We're looking at 4 distinct choices here, some featuring the table and some flying solo without it. Taking a closer look by clicking on the images, we're thrilled to see that the transparent background we were aiming for isn't just a dream, it's reality. And the edges, sharp and clear, not a glitch or smudge in sight. It's time to hit that download button and snag our masterpiece, but hey, there's more to explore. Moving on to round 2, let's spice things up a bit. Picture this, a sleek red Ferrari. We're sticking with our trusty Leonardo Vision XL model, keeping that transparency feature in play, and once again, we're about to drop 11 tokens on our next creative endeavor. We click generate, and in just a blink, boom, we've got 4 stunning options of our dream car staring back at us. From a bold front view to a dynamic side snapshot, not forgetting the bird's eye and the rear views, each angle offers a unique perspective. Diving in for a closer look at each option, the Ferraris look like they're floating in thin air, thanks to that flawless transparent background. Let's pick an image to download, because it's time to put these transparent beauties to the test by whipping up a composition. This is where we really get to see the transparency quality shine. All right, let's put our work to the test and head over to Adobe Photoshop for a little photo magic. I snagged a free stock photo of a table decked out with a few items, and now it's time to add the flower vase we crafted earlier into the mix. Opening both images in Photoshop, it's as simple as dragging and dropping our vase onto the table scene. First things first, I adjust the vase size to make it look just right. And wow, as I shuffle the vase around, the transparency is absolutely stellar. It's like you can see every detail behind the glass vase. Pretty neat, right? Once I'm happy with how the vase scales in the scene, it's time to add a bit of depth with a shadow. I create a new layer for this and use the ellipse tool to sketch out a basic shadow shape. After filling it in with a solid color, I fine-tune the shadow's size to snugly fit the shape. Next stop is the filter menu, where I select blur and then motion blur to give our shadow that realistic, diffused look. Playing around with the settings, I dial in just the right amount of blur. With the blur in place, I switch the layer's blending mode to multiply and dial the opacity back to about 50% to get the shadow looking just like the one under the wooden bucket in the photo. Then grabbing a soft brush with the eraser tool, I lower the opacity and flow to lightly feather away parts of the shadow, making it blend seamlessly with the table's surface. For the finishing touch, I create a selective color adjustment layer to mimic the subtle glass tint seen on the oil bottle across the table, starting with the whites, then moving to the neutrals, and finally adjusting the blacks. With a gentle hand, I use the eraser tool again at lower opacity and flow settings to subtly blend the vase even more into the scene. And just like that, our vase looks like it's always been part of this table setting. Now, onto the Ferrari. I found a parking lot image that kind of fits the angle of our car. Opening both images in Photoshop, I simply drag the Ferrari into the parking scene. This part's a breeze. Just resize the car to match the scene's perspective, turn the opacity down a touch, and there you have it. Effortlessly cool. So I stumbled upon some chatter recently that Leonardo has stepped up its game with adding text to images. Naturally, I couldn't wait to put this to the test. Let's keep things straightforward for this trial. How about a billboard sporting a simple welcome message? We're not going to fuss over the specifics of the billboard or its setting this time. Instead, we'll leave it up to Leonardo to sprinkle a little creative magic on our project. We'll be working with the Leonardo Vision XL model again, and gearing up for this round, we'll chip away another 11 tokens from our stash. With a quick click on Generate, it barely takes a moment before we're presented with 4 new images. And you know what? The results are pretty impressive. 2 out of the 4 images hit the mark flawlessly. I mean, absolutely spot on with what we were aiming for. The other 2? They're not too shabby either, though they'll need a bit of finessing to get the text just right. All in all, it's clear to see Leonardo's really upped its ante on this feature. Next up, let's dive into the motion feature. When you hit up the home screen or select motion from the left sidebar, if it's your first visit, you'll get a handy rundown on how everything works. The gist is you can animate pretty much any image you've got, whether it's something you previously whipped up in your library, a fresh upload, or a gem from the community feed. Just pick your motion intensity and you're good to go. Closing the intro pop-up, you're thrown right into a slick interface. Choose your image source, dial in the motion strength, it's set to 5 as a starting point, and when you feel the vibe, smash that generate button. For my first experiment, I'm pulling from my personal stash. I've got this epic shot of soldiers with a few more in the backdrop. I'm crossing my fingers for some marching action. I stick with the default motion setting of 5, cough up 25 tokens, and brace myself for a 4-second video masterpiece. After hitting generate, there's a bit of a wait, but once it's done, it pops up in my feed ready to awe. And the cool part? Clicking on it reveals a drop-down that lets you flip between the original still and your brand new video. Plus, you've got the options to download or upscale both your video and image. While that's brewing, I'm already on to making my next video. This time, it's an Arabian knight in full regalia, charging through a desert sandstorm on his white steed. I'm feeling adventurous, so I crank the motion dial up to 7, eager to see how much life it injects into the scene. That's another 25 tokens well spent. And because why stop at 2? I'm going for a hat trick with a snapshot of a cat mid-pounce I created a while back. I sift through my library, find the feline in flight, and hit Image to Motion. This round, I'm going with a motion strength of 6. Let's see what kind of dynamism we can add to this airborne kitty. All right, let's dive into the outcomes. After giving it a few minutes, I clicked over to Personal Feed to check out what's come out of the oven. We'll start with the video of the soldiers. Honestly, it turned out pretty awesome. The flag is fluttering just like it would in real life, and the soldiers in the background are smoothly exiting the frame, lending it all a very natural vibe. The main character did seem a tad rigid to me, but on the whole, the effect was pretty impressive. Time to hit that download button and keep this gem on my computer. Next up, the Arabian Night. If you recall, we cranked up the motion strength to 7, hoping for some extra dynamic action, and boy, did it deliver. The camera work was impressive, panning and zooming in a way that almost felt like it was circling our hero in motion. The horse's movements, particularly the legs, turned a bit jelly-like, which wasn't exactly what we were aiming for, but still, the scene didn't come off half bad. Definitely worth a download. Then there was the cat video. Pressing play on this one was like opening Pandora's box, and not in a good way. What was supposed to be a cute cat mid-jump transformed into something that looked like it leaped straight out of a Stephen King nightmare. The morphing effect turned our feline friend into a creature I hardly recognized. That one was a bit of a miss, but hey, experimenting is the name of the game here. Adjusting the motion strength and picking your images with a bit of strategy could lead to better results next time. What's the final word on this tool? It's a fantastic way to inject some vitality into static images, transforming them into something more animated, more alive. There's a bit of a learning curve, sure, but the potential is undeniable. For me, this tool is hitting a solid 10 out of 10. It's all about playing around, seeing what works, and having fun bringing more energy to our digital canvases. And now, the moment we've all been eagerly anticipating, the unveiling of the Universal Image Upscaler. Have you ever whipped up an image with Leonardo and thought, this looks a tad blurry, or it's not quite as sharp as I hoped? Especially when you're navigating the platform with a free account. That's where the magic of the Upscaler swoops in. Let's be real, not all of us have the luxury of using the Alchemy refiner or the photoreal pipeline, so some images might not come out as crisp as we'd like. I'm going to take one for the team and use this with one of my creations that fits the bill we talked about earlier. And hey, before anyone starts coming after me with pitchforks, I'm also going to give it a go with some real-world pixelated messes of images I've got stored away. And just to be clear, these weren't whipped up with Leonardo. First things first, hit the Home or the Universal Upscaler option on the left. If it's your first rodeo, you'll be walked through what this tool is all about. So it's here you'll learn about the wonders it can perform, like enhancing and upscaling your images, or even reimagining them with the help of a clever text prompt. And the cherry on top, you get to compare your newly polished image side by side with the original. So, with a burst of excitement, let's dive into the Upscaler interface by hitting Let's Go. The process is super user-friendly. Upload your image or pick from the options provided, choose your upscaler style, decide on the level of creativity you're aiming for, the scale of upscaling, the dimensions, and perhaps add a bit of flair with a nifty prompt. For this experiment, I'm picking an image from my personal collection and confirming my choices. This upscale adventure is going to cost us 30 tokens, but I have a feeling it'll be worth every single one. We're rolling with the general upscaler style, setting the creativity strength to a cozy 5 by default, doubling up with a 2x multiplier, and aiming for dimensions of 1536 by 1204 pixels. With anticipation building, I press generate and wait for the magic to happen. Just a few seconds later, our results are in, and let me just say, wow. Down in the bottom right, we've got different ways to view our masterpiece. The slider, upscaling only, and side-by-side views. Flipping through these options really lets you soak in the differences and appreciate the transformation. And folks, the upgrade is nothing short of stunning. We've transitioned from what looked like a digital 3D sketch to something that screams photorealism, with details that'll have you doing a double take. Opting for the side-by-side comparison really puts into perspective the incredible jump in detail. And yes, you better believe I'm hitting that download button to keep this beauty on my computer. All right, let's move forward to the point where I tackle some images that are, frankly, just a blur of pixels at the moment. For each picture, I'll share the starting size and resolution before we give them a spin through Leonardo's Upscaler. Our first contestant is a photo of someone snapping a pic by a lake. Originally, it's sitting at a modest 640 by 427 pixels, 72 dpi, and tips the scales at a feather-light 94.5 kb. Time to bring it into Leonardo. We click on Add Image, navigate through the computer files, select it, and confirm. I'm sticking to the straight and narrow for this one, keeping all default settings but bumping the size up to double. If you glance at the upper right corner, you'll spot the original size, and post-upscale, we're looking at a neat 1280 by 854 pixels. After cashing in 30 tokens and hitting Generate, we're quickly rewarded. And the result? Absolutely stunning. The improvement in the details of the leaves, trees, and water is night and day. Flipping to the upscaled view offers an even closer look at the impressive details. Comparing the before and after, the leap in size and quality is unmistakable. Let's download this beauty. Onto our second image, same dimensions as the first at 640 by 427 pixels, 72 dpi, but a bit lighter at 50.3 kb. Into Leonardo it goes. But this time we're dialing up the creativity strength to 6 before launching another upscale operation. In the blink of an eye, our enhanced image is ready. The transformation is remarkable, smoothing out the graininess inherent from the low light conditions it was shot in, enhancing details like the wine glass, watch strap, and even the texture of skin. Interestingly, it added a birthmark that wasn't originally there, but hey, nothing a little Photoshop can't fix. Time to save this one as well. The third photo follows the trend, sized at 640 by 427 pixels, 72 dpi, weighing in at 64.2 kb. Back to Leonardo we go, this time cranking the creativity strength up to 8. Just a moment later, and the party truly starts. The clarity of the people and the activity happening on the screens, coupled with the visibility of smoke weaving through light beams, is nothing short of spectacular. In the side-by-side comparison, the upscale's superiority is undeniable. Downloading this one for sure. Finally, I wanted a real challenge. Something small and messy. I stumbled upon a pic of Luke Skywalker that was perfect. It was blurry, tiny at 254 by 323 pixels, 180 dpi, and just 45.3 kb. Let's throw it into Leonardo, keeping the creativity strength high at 8 and doubling the size. Pushing Generate, we quickly see the result. The quality, razor sharp. But hold up, that's definitely not Luke Skywalker anymore. Despite the transformation in quality giving life back to the textures of the suit, skin, and hair, our hero's face has undergone a full identity switch. The quality leap is undeniable though. Curious, I dialed back the creativity strength to 5 for a redo. This time, while the detail dips slightly closer to the original, maintaining some blur but enhancing the overall picture, the AI still takes liberties with facial features. It's a fascinating glimpse into the blend of art and science that AI tools offer us. All right, everyone, we've really gone on an incredible journey today. We plunged right into the digital world and played around with some absolutely amazing tools. We kicked things off by sprucing up some pictures, giving them a neat transparent background, and let me tell you, they turned out fantastic. Then we amped up the excitement with motion, adding a dash of dynamism to still photos, making them dance with life in ways we barely imagined. Sure, we had our moments of surprise. I'm looking at you, cat-turned-creature from the depths of a digital nightmare, but isn't that the thrill of exploration? Our journey didn't stop there. We upped the ante with the Universal Image Upscaler, turning our pixel soup messes into breathtaking visuals with jaw-dropping detail. Whether it was capturing the serene beauty of a lake, enhancing the intimate moments caught under dim lights, or partying it up with enhanced clarity, each step was a revelation. And yes, even when we took a swing at reviving a blurry Luke Skywalker, the results were nothing short of a plot twist.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, it would really mean a lot to me if you took a quick minute and hit that like and subscribe button. It does really help a small channel like mine out. Until next time.